Hi, my name is Philip Wildman. This is my mastery for film aesthetics. Today I'm making a short film. We're going to talk about some of the aesthetical elements of film, how you can discuss them, critique films using these elements. I'm going to use a bunch of examples from Citizen Kane. Okay, there's four main aspects: cinematography, mise-en-scene, editing, and sound. Of cinematography, the definition is art of making motion pictures. That's an awful definition. I think everyone can agree on that. It has a lot to do with how the film is actually filmed. The camera, the lighting, there's a ton of different things about it. How the film's developed, the filters, so much. I want to talk about focus, depth of focus. Now, deep focus is when the foreground and the background are both in focus. The audience can see both clearly. Shallow focus is when the foreground is in focus and the background is not. Rack focus is whenever they change in between different types of focus. I'm going to show a clip in Citizen Kane that's an example of deep focus. Now, in this film, in this clip, it's going to show Charles Kane as a boy playing in snow, throwing snowballs and stuff. It'll come back away from him, and the scene actually takes place in the room with his mother and his father talking to Mr. Thatcher, the banker. The entire time, even in the very background, just a small, tiny part of the picture, Charles Kane is completely in focus. You can tell what he's doing. He is a part of that scene, and he's not even in the house. It tells the audience very clearly that this kid is important. This kid is the point of the film. Let's watch it real quick.
Be careful, Charles.
Kane.
Pull your muffler around your neck, Charles.
Kane, I think we shall have to tell him now.
Yes. I'll sign those papers now, Mr. Thatcher.
You people seem to forget that I'm the boy's father.
It's going to be done exactly the way I've told Mr. Thatcher.
There ain't nothing wrong with Colorado. I don't see why we can't raise our own son just because we come into some money. If I want, I can go to court. The father has a right to. The boarder that beats his bill and leaves worthless stock behind. That property is just as much my property as anybody's, now that it's valuable. And if Fred...
Okay, so even right there at the end, Charles Kane, still front and center. You can see him out the window. He's way back there, but he is in focus. That's deep focus. Mise-en-scene. It's the arrangement of scenery and stage properties in a production. I've got play, but film, whatever. What I want to talk about mise-en-scene is low-key and high-key lighting. Now, low-key lighting, it can be used for dramatic effect. With low-key lighting, there's not a lot of light in the scene, so any light in the scene is important. It shines on important things. It draws the audience's attention to important things, and it's dramatic. It's very popular back in the day, film noir. High-key lighting is everything's lit up. It's kind of a happy atmospheric thing, not dramatic. Not happy, light, I guess. It's not... Let's see if I can get this opened up. Okay, in this scene, this is Charles Kane. He's sitting there with a couple of his partners, and at first in the scene they have like playful newspaperman banter, and it's a fairly lighthearted deal. The lighting changes whenever Kane turns off the gas lamp. And he uses the gas lamp as, in the clip, he uses the gas lamp as an analogy. He said he wanted to make his paper as necessary to the citizens of the city as the gas was, and he turned it off. Well, it wasn't really high key lighting before, but once he turned off that gas lamp, it became even darker, and the light became more important. He's about to announce his principles. The light shines on him, lights him up. Let's look at it.
We'll be on the street soon, Charlie. Another 10 minutes.
3 hours and 50 minutes late, but we did it.
Tired? Tough day. A wasted day.
Wasted? You only made the paper over 4 times tonight, that's all.
I've changed the front page a little, Mr. Bernstein. That's not enough. No, there's something I've got to get into this paper besides pictures and print. I've got to make the New York Enquirer as important to New York as the gas and that light. What are you going to do, Charlie? Declaration of Principles. Don't smile, Judith.
He's about to declare his principles. The gas lamp just came on. The lighting got even more low-key.
Diane, got it all written out. Declaration of Principles.
You don't want to make any promises, Mr. Kane, you don't want to keep.
These will begin. I'll provide the people of this city with a daily paper that will tell all the news honestly. I will also provide... That's the second sentence you started with I. People are going to know who's responsible. And they're going to get the truth in the Enquirer quickly and simply and entertainingly and no...
Okay, y'all get the point with that one. Next thing we're talking about is editing. There's so many different types of editing and aspects of editing. I'm going to talk about the dissolve. That's a somewhat simple one, but it's been around for forever. A dissolve is a way of changing between two scenes. There's a dissolve takes one picture and gradually changes it into another by shifting them, but for a while the audience is seeing both. Fade out and fade in are actually versions of the dissolve, but like with the fade out, it is dissolving into a blank frame or a black screen, or you get it. And with fade in, exact opposite. Here's an example of a fade out. It is not, it's nothing groundbreaking. Kane dies and fades out. Okay, that was a great example of a fade out. I'm sure you've seen it before. Here's an example of a dissolve. This is just absolute textbook dissolve. We got this guy, he's reading letters that Kane wrote, and the camera is going to pan across these lines of script, and it's going to actually use the dissolve to have a flashback, or to fade back, I guess, to Kane's childhood. Actually, the snowball scene we just watched. So, let's watch it and see how it's done. Okay, that was a dissolve. Sound. That's the next thing we're going to talk about. In films, there's basically two types of sound. Two are diegetic sound, which is in-world. It's things that the characters are actually going to experience. Their voices, like if somebody's actually playing music on the film. Doors slamming, cats yowling, all those types of things. Non-diegetic sound is sound that is for the audience. It is not happening in the character's world. Score stuff that comes over the score, or the film's music. I'm sorry. If there's a narrative, if there's a narrator telling the narrative, anything that's intended solely for the audience that the characters cannot hear. Okay, an example of diegetic sound in Citizen Kane. I like this example a lot. All it is Charles Kane clapping at the end of Susan's opera performance. But it also has the rest of the crowd clapping. And when the rest of the crowd's clapping, it's just a pitter-patter. Sounds a little bit like rain, like it's just polite, like nothing special. And when Kane joins in, he really, he's trying to make his claps as loud as possible. This is diegetic sound because it is in the film, but it is definitely over. There's no way that anyone could clap that loudly. I mean, his claps they drown out the rest of the audience's claps. So it's very much emphasized. He's got a lot of emotions going on, and how much he wants what he wants for, and how much he wants it for. Here we go. As you can see, like, even among the whole crowd, like, his claps were very, very loud. It was drowning out the rest of the crowd. Alright, an example of a non-diegetic sound. This is nothing special. You've seen it every time you've seen a film. Just got some background music. And this scene is whenever Kane dies. At first it's showing inside a snow globe, and I would almost describe the music as happy. Then they zoom out and you see that it's actually a man holding snow globe, less happy. Then it becomes somewhat ominous. The snow globe rolls out of his hand and shatters, at which point I would say it's foreboding. Let's watch it. Okay, that's all I've got. Let me get my references on here. And thanks for watching. Big subject, a lot to talk about. Briefly covered what time allowed.